Confidentiality is one of the principles of the American juvenile justice system. What happens in the system is kept private so that the mistakes we make when we're young don't follow us forever. But one of the consequences of confidentiality is that members of the public like you don't see this. Every day, we shackle children in handcuffs, in belly chains, in leg irons, and restraining chairs, in courtrooms, in transport, and in detention. You won't see any faces in these slides because of confidentiality. We hide their faces to protect their identities. But if we want to protect kids, why do we chain them? My name is Natasha Baker. I'm an NLC Silicon Valley alum and a juvenile defense attorney. And today I want you to see what the system hides. And I want you to act to end the practice of putting our children in chains. Now, why do we shackle? The most common answers you'll get are safety concerns and flight risk. Kids are just too dangerous to not be locked down when we are trying to lock them up. But those fears are unfounded. When courts have modified or eliminated shackling, behavior is actually improved because not being shackled makes court less scary, it allows kids to better participate in their defense, and it makes kids feel human. Kids who have been shackled describe it as being treated like an animal, like a slave, like a criminal. Historically, chains have been used to dehumanize and therefore to justify treating people badly. When we chain children, we dehumanize them. Ask yourself, when you see these photos of children, do you think that they must have done something really awful to deserve being treated like this? That they must be so out of control that they have to be controlled for their own good? But shackling is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Children internalize the shame and stigma that comes with shackling. When they feel the cold metal cut their wrists and dig into their bellies, they internalize the message that they are bad kids who won't amount to anything, so why try? It should not be surprising then that recidivism goes up for kids in the system. And that is because shackling, like so many aspects of the juvenile justice system, does not address the reasons that bring kids into court. So many of them are there because of their responses to trauma. In addition, we often criminalize kids for being, well, kids. Ask yourself, when you were a kid, did you ever skip school, or stay out past curfew, or get into a fight, or talk back to a teacher, smoke weed, shoplift, or violate dress code? Kids are chained and locked up in cages every day for that. And when we admit to ourselves the truth that the vast majority of children in our juvenile justice system are children of color because of persistent racism and institutional inertia that have left the communities they come from the least resourced and the most policed, it is even more horrifying and unacceptable that we chain them. If we really want to rehabilitate, why do we humiliate? Remember the expression, if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail? If we give adults chains to respond to youth behavior, then that is what they will use. What we need to give them instead is what works. Not criminalizing trauma and normal adolescent behavior works. Investing in mentoring, after-school programs, jobs, addressing hunger and housing, that works. Counselors, not cops, work. In school and in detention, restorative justice works. Peer mediation works. I was a peer mediator in middle school. Students could come to us with problems instead of having to go to the principal. My school empowered students to help each other. And when we empower people, they can envision alternatives. We must empower people to invest in alternatives to shackling. But change is only possible if people know that something is wrong. Members of the public like you are prevented from seeing the abuses on the inside because of confidentiality. And those who work on the inside have become numb to the pain they cause. The shackling of children and the clanging of chains is just another part of the job. So my ask of all of you is to find out about shackling where you live and demand change. Call your local newspaper, public defender office, local or school official, and ask if shackling happens and why. Use the hashtag NoChildInChains to spread awareness, because no child should be in chains. Thank you.